As always, it is my pleasure that you join me for today's podcast of Second Chance Coaching. My name is Dr. Richard Lewis. If you'd be so kind as to leave me a rating and your feedback, I would very much appreciate it, and it will help others like you to optimally discover this podcast wherever you listen to this and your other favorite podcast. As you know, at Second Chance Coaching, we focus on seeing everyday life through the eyes of the returning citizen and highlighting the resiliency of the human spirit. I would love to work with you one-on-one, whether you're a returning citizen or coaching client seeking your second chance, or you're a representative of a business, college, or university seeking to integrate and support returning citizens in your respective organizational and learning environments. Please feel free to contact me via email at richard@secondchancecoaching.com or via Instagram at the Dr. Richard Lewis. Welcome again to another edition of Second Chance Coaching. As always, it is my pleasure to join you on another week of your reentry journey from whichever corner of the world you're listening from. In this case, it's probably best to say another day of your reentry journey since we last joined you yesterday. But thank you as always for joining us. We remain humbled and excited that you always decide to spend a part of your week or a part of your day with us in this case. And in particular, since we're talking about spending part of your day, spending part of your Thanksgiving Day with us. Today in the United States, when this podcast premieres, we are celebrating Thanksgiving Day, a day that is marked by food, football, and family. Maybe we should say family, food, than football. But it's certainly a day we stop and take time to give thanks and spend time with friends, family, and express our love to those that mean so much to us. Thanksgiving Day was my mother's favorite holiday. She thoroughly enjoyed all of us being together in one place at one time, having the opportunity to talk, laugh, and break bread. You know, I think of Mom every day as I think of my dad, and I think of Nanamdi and so many of my other friends, family, and loved ones that have passed and gone before me. But I think of them in a special way on Thanksgiving Day and the beginning of the Christmas holiday season, because I'm so thankful for their impact on my life and how they've all made me a better person and how their love and their spirits continue to make me a better person to this day. Hopefully I'm doing that every day to honor them in every little way, every single day, that their love and spirit inspire me to be a better person. So I thank them and know that I love them and I miss them. But every holiday and special occasion, I also think of my brothers and sisters who are currently incarcerated, especially on Thanksgiving Day, because it could seem that even when you're incarcerated, there can seem there's nothing to be thankful for. But believe me, I'm here to tell you that there is. I want to share a little story with you as we spending a little time with you today. That on Thanksgiving Day of 2000. I want to talk to you about that day. On Thanksgiving Day of 2000, that was the one and only Thanksgiving holiday in which I was incarcerated. And I woke up that morning feeling, a mixture of feelings naturally. Of course, I didn't feel good in the moment as to where I physically was, but there was something in me that had the faith that my second work release petition would soon come into my favor, which it did. But at that time, I didn't know that, but I wasn't letting the hope of that get me too excited. I wanted to sit there and really be in the moment. But I also started thinking of what my family was doing on that day. Was hoping and praying that my mother could not be too worried about me and could celebrate Thanksgiving with my sister and my niece, who was only 6 months old at the time. That would be her first Thanksgiving. So how she would be spending that time with them. I was thinking about how Julian and Nandi were spending their Thanksgiving. And at that moment, I did start to feel that sense of being thankful and having gratitude, because I was thinking about people who loved me and whom I loved as well. And I was thankful to be alive. I was thankful to have hope for a better tomorrow. And I was thankful that I was one day closer to freedom, whenever that day of freedom would take place. And as I started to drift and daydream and think about gratitude and think about family, one of my unit mates came to my bunk, immediately interrupting my pleasant daydreams, and asked me what food I had available to cook, if I had any food available to cook. I shared with him what I had and asked him, what did he have in mind? And he just said, "Come on over, let's go to the day room." In the day room, we had two microwave ovens, not a full kitchen, just two microwave ovens there. And in those following moments, between him and other folks other incarcerated men that were there, within a few moments, there was a group of incarcerated men sitting around playing cards, watching television, watching the Thanksgiving Day parade, and cooking various dishes and foods that could be cooked in the microwave. And all of a sudden, the smell of wonderful food and the smell of Thanksgiving was in the air. Now, it certainly wasn't like being at home, but those familiar scents and those familiar smells and that camaraderie around people being there together under the spirit of a holiday, it certainly made the smell and the feeling of Thanksgiving in the air in that very moment. And in not too long of a time, the group of us are sitting there now breaking bread, and all of us, as we're eating and sharing time together, we're sharing stories of what Thanksgiving was like on the outside. And then we would imagine and talk about what Thanksgiving would be like when we go home, wherever home was for us. Even though we were sharing those stories amongst each other and talking about each other's experiences, we were still grateful in that very moment to have the opportunity to share Thanksgiving with one another. And despite the universal common bond of us all being incarcerated, we were grateful that we had that food. We had his company, that moment to be grateful. And in that moment, although we were physically incarcerated, our spirits were indeed free because we had that opportunity to be thankful and gratitude and have that gratitude amongst each other. And as I'm speaking to you today, my sister, my niece, and the Wonder Twins are driving down here to spend Thanksgiving with me. So we're going to be sitting there manifesting that love and spirit that my mother instilled in us. And we're going to be sharing that Thanksgiving amongst all of us. We also had the original plan that my daughter, her husband, and my granddaughter Janelle was going to come down for Thanksgiving as well, and we had that opportunity to all spend that time together. Unfortunately, baby Janelle is having a fever, as little fever as babies would have, as babies often could get, and they canceled their plans for coming down to Florida with me and her paternal grandparents. But she's in the bosom of her parents. She's in that love, and she has the love of her grandmère. Her maternal grandmother is with her, and so I pray for her quick recovery, and I pray that she has a wonderful Thanksgiving Day. And Pepper promises to call you on FaceTime and to see you and blow you kisses through the screen. And I also at the same time pray for the safe travels for my sister, my niece, and the Wonder Twins. And although it's not the same that mom and dad and Namdi are not with us, but they'll be with us in that love and spirit. And that Thanksgiving gratitude is there no matter what. And it's um, a wonderful feeling of gratitude of feelings that I have here for Thanksgiving in 2023. It's a different level of gratitude that I felt in Thanksgiving of 2000, but the Thanksgiving gratitude I feel in 2023 is not too dissimilar from the Thanksgiving gratitude I felt in that day room of Thanksgiving 2000 in Cooksack, New York. That level of Thanksgiving and gratitude, whether you're here experiencing that freedom, waiting for family to show up here in Florida, or you're in a cold area, incarcerated in Cooksack, New York, that level of Thanksgiving and gratitude at any point in between, you could feel that every single day. You don't have to have it just on Thanksgiving. I was reading on the betterup.com blog. It gives us 5 examples of how we could practice gratitude no matter where we are, no matter what day it is. And let me share, if you don't mind, I'll share some of those examples of gratitude with you. Number one, each day think of 3 things you're grateful for. Part of my morning daily prayers is to make it a daily habit to visualize what is good in my life. What am I thankful for at this very day? And then sometimes if I have time, I try to devote at least 10 minutes to it to make it even more powerful, to write it down. What am I grateful for? And then what are the three things I'm thankful for? And then sometimes I look back on it in the course of a week, a course of a month, course of a couple of months and say, I realize that sometimes I'm grateful for the same things all the time. And depending on the day, I may be grateful for a particular type of thing, depending on the day. And speaking of writing, and that goes into number two, start a gratitude journal. I've always talked about the power of having a notebook and writing in various podcast episodes, but journaling is such a great self therapy technique because you activate different parts of your brain and access different memories and emotions, and you see things from a new perspective because you see the words on paper. You know, you find purpose and feel grateful for the good things that you have because you could see and you've written down and you've manifested in words the challenging situations that show the higher resilience that's in you, the forgiveness, you know, the detachment from bad experiences, and the embracing of the faith of better experiences moving forward. And those are in your own words of gratefulness, your own words of gratitude, your own words of thanksgiving, and can help you feel better when you're struggling to be positive because we're going to have those struggle days. And that goes into number three. Thank someone new every single week. Sometimes we say thank you just to say thank you, but thank someone new every single week. Bring that gratitude and that nice, simple gift or gesture into someone's life every single day. Be creative. Sometimes, you know, maybe give a $10 Amazon card or something like that. You know, show someone that you're really grateful for their presence. Sometimes it could be a nonverbal communication like an eye contact or a smile, writing a thoughtful message. Hey, I was just thinking about you, so thank you. I remember I spoke to my current boss at the end of the school year. I just told him, you know, of all the negative experiences I'd gone through professionally, I just wanted to tell him thank him and be grateful for who he is and how he shows up every single day. And sometimes that thanking someone new every single week, it just not only makes them feel better, but believe me, it puts that in you too. It puts that gratitude, that gratefulness, that thankfulness, that puts that in you as well. Number four, meditate. When it comes to gratitude, meditation can take us as deep as it gets. When you have different meditations, different prayers, just think about what is it that I'm grateful for because I'm grateful for something in this very moment. And being grateful and meditating on being grateful could help us grow. It could help us be stronger. It definitely just continues to promote different feelings of positivity, acceptance. And I like to also meditate on things that make me laugh and make me smile, have those endorphins, have my body feel the uplifting of a smile, the things that happen physiologically when you smile. That's a beautiful thing. And lastly, number five, focus more on others' intentions. You know, when you receive something nice or receive a gift from someone, especially in this holiday season, you may receive something. Consider how they intended to bring good into your life. Think about how good that is. And take a moment to sit there and say, look at what it is that they wanted to do to make me feel better. And then think about that in those challenging moments. Express your gratitude to them. That just means a lot. And that breaks down all the five that we talked about. But make sure you take the time to express and manifest these gratitude examples every single day, especially today on Thanksgiving Day, but do that every single day, no matter what you are doing or where you are. That certainly helps. And I certainly want to take the time a little bit to say thank you for spending this little bit of time with me today. And I want to certainly take the time to wish you and your family and your friends and your loved ones a very happy and blessed Thanksgiving. Take plenty of pictures of the food, take plenty of pictures of yourselves, post them on social media. Not only share that love with amongst you, but share that love with everybody else. You know that love makes a difference. I love seeing pictures of my friends, family, loved ones enjoying Thanksgiving. I'll certainly do the same thing. So enjoy the special day. Enjoy the special day. It's a day of love. It's a day of food. It's a day of family. and of course, a little bit of football as well. Thank you again for joining us. I look forward to spending more time with you again next week. Thank you again for joining us here at Second Chance Coaching. In addition to coaching services for individuals and businesses, I'm also available for speaking engagements and workshops on criminal justice reentry, human resources, as well as organizational culture and leadership. Feel free to email me at richard@secondchancecoaching.com, as well as connect with me on Instagram at @DrRichardLewis. Remember, every day you are given this opportunity for your second chance, and I know you'll make the best of it. I love you all, and I look forward to connecting with you next time here at Second Chance Coaching.